Hey there, this is AJ with Car Inspected. Today we're in Brantford and we're looking at this 2016 Ram 2500 Promaster van. It's got 88,000 kilometers on it. Overall, pretty decent shape. No major issues. There's some dings, dents here and there, but nothing past expected for a work vehicle. I see a little bit of the paint chipping off here from people's feet hitting, which should probably be fixed up before it turns to rust. Not an issue now, but if we paint it up, and it won't be an issue. And that's a little busted too from people kind of rubbing their feet on there. But as we go around, outside looks pretty decent. No bangs or anything like that, or accidents on the nose. Everything looks pretty good. There's a couple of chips, rock chips, and dings a couple of dings that have been from rocks probably that have been touched up here, and a couple little chips along the edge, but nothing too crazy. The windshield does have a spider crack in it right here. The dealer knows about it and is in the plan to replace it. They have a list of things that I'll highlight in the report that they're going to replace before it gets sold, because it hasn't gone through safety yet. The fenders all look good. No paint or any issues on this side. Everything looks pretty nice. Panels are pretty straight. No real issues. There is a little bit of a rub on this back fender here. As you can see, it's just cosmetic. It's a little kind of push in and a couple little scratches, but nothing too bad. As we come around the back, all the lights, everything look pretty good. There are a couple of dings in the rear door right here, and a couple of chips on the edge here. And there is also some kind of little damage. Somebody hit something right there. The back bumper also has a little bit of a kind of a scuff, rip, or if you will, on there. Everything else though on this side looks pretty good with no real issues. Now on this side we do have an area, looks like this side of the van has been repainted. Not a lot of body work, but there is a sign of repaint. You'll see in the paint thickness verification, there's also a couple just visible runs in the paint here that somebody has redone that. Match is okay, I don't see any major issues. It is a little off. But that is only from the eye of a painter. Regular person probably wouldn't even notice that. Other than that, everything looks pretty good. This is gasoline, by the way, not diesel. Wheels, tires, brakes. So the front tires are pretty new. They're 2019s. Here's the date code here. And we have about 30 seconds of tread, so they are pretty new. They don't look like they have any weird wear or any issues like that. Suspension components up front all look pretty good. I don't see any rust or anything under here either. Everything looks pretty decent. Axles look good, no signs of issue. All pretty decent under here. As we go around the front, we do see a couple of little seepage areas from the engine and transmission case. So we see a little bit there, and that drain plug, and some on the side over here. So those are right there. A little bit of seepage. It's not a giant issue. I don't see a major leak, major drip, but that seepage is there. Could turn into a leak at some point. Everything else looks pretty decent with no real issues. We come around here, we find the same story, 2019 tire with a lot of tread left on it, 30 seconds. This all looks pretty good. Oh, by the way, brakes in the front look okay. He did mention, I think, that they're going to change them for the safety all around, I believe. We'll have to confirm that. But they look decent. There's a good amount of rust on them from sitting. And under here all looks pretty good as well. Exhaust all looks nice, no rust or any issues. All pretty clean underneath. Not a lot of wear and tear under there, which is good. Now rear tires. These ones he did confirm, he said they were going to replace. They are pretty low. They're about 3 to 30 seconds of tread. As you can see, they're getting a little beat up. They're from 2016. Now back here, rear suspension, all looks pretty decent, except this shock looks like it might be leaking. You can see the wetness on the bottom of it there. So that may need to be addressed. When I take it for a drive, we'll see if it feels like it's not doing it well. Spare tire looks good. All looks good under here. Last tire, again, 2016. Good amount of wear on it, but he did say they're going to replace them. And brakes, good amount of rust on here. It did have a good amount of dragging noise when I moved it out of the parking lot, so we'll see when we drive it. But the pads on it do look like they're pretty, probably about 65–70% on them. But we need to replace them just two rusty rotors. So we'll go into the back. It is a very windy day. Hope you can hear me. Now back here, all looks pretty decent. No major damage. A lot of these work vehicles would be pretty beat up back here, but this one's not too bad really. It's got wood on these panels, some scuffs and things like that. Again, that is to be expected with a work vehicle. No major damage though. There are shelves and wood flooring put in. What you see here is not rust. It's some kind of dust or something. You can actually rub it off. It's some kind of a dust or debris. So I'm not too concerned about rust in here. These shelves are on wood, so they're probably not rubbing and no major issues. I can't lift this up. It's bolted down, but probably not too bad. The wood paneling on the sides also looks pretty decent. I believe all the shelves are bolted into the wood paneling, so I don't think there's even probably, well, they might be through the metal, but I can't say for sure. But again, they don't look, everything is bolted to wood, so they're pretty decent. Wood floor does look good if you're going to leave it in here. Not too bad. The paneling on the door all looks pretty decent. This has a wooden divider here, which again, doesn't look to be a problem. All looks pretty decent. So back here, looks like a decent general work vehicle with no major issues. Under doors work smooth, no problems. Slider door works smooth with no issues as well. I'll show you that real quick, see? And no rust or anything like that. Again, that's that kind of dust debris stuff. Must have been cutting, must have been a carpenter van or something. Passenger side looks pretty decent. No real issues, no major scuffs or anything in this door. And no rust or anything on the bottom. All looks pretty good. Handles seem to work. All this looks nice as well. There is a little stain on the seat there. It's not too bad though. Doesn't really look like many people have sat in this seat, which is good. Not sure though. The headliner is a bit stained. As you can see, there is some kind of dirt and gruff. There's a little dirtiness. Nothing stand out major stain, but it is a little dirty. Dashboard all looks pretty good. Owner's manual is in here. Everything works. Nothing's damaged on the dash, except it is missing the little top for this USB connector. Finally, we go over to the driver's side. And this all looks pretty decent. There are some scuffs and stuff in the plastic on this side from more use from a driver. But for the most part, it looks pretty decent. Door bottoms look okay with no real issues. And again, I pointed this out earlier, this damage here from people getting in and out. A little bit of just drips and stainage, things like that. Probably clean up. This plastic, I'm sure, will clean up pretty well if it went through a detail, because it is all just plastic. So dash looks good on this side. Seat looks pretty good. Minimal wear on this bolster, not really much at all. If we slide up inside, we do have some wear on this armrest, this folding armrest, but nothing too bad. Oh, the wind is killing me. Steering wheel looks good. All this stuff looks pretty decent. No issues. Everything starts and runs as it should. Starts right up. Left front door is open. That's me. And check tire pressures. But they're going to change those tires, so that's okay. Radio works. Heat, AC seems to work. Traction control, things like that. It does have tow haul mode. Window lockout. These windows do work. So everything seems to work as it should with no real issues. Under the hood, all looks pretty decent as well. I'll show you that real quick. Not a lot to see under here because the engine is set right back on its van. But we'll show you. Okay, so here we have the engine. Looks pretty good. I don't see any major leaks or anything like that. What you see there is some water just from sitting, I'm guessing. Again, no major issues other than those little bit of seepage on the bottom. Oil looks good, nice and clean in here. We did an analysis. We got a green light on your own oil, so we have no contamination or issues like that. Your coolant also looks pretty decent. We got a negative 43, so it's up to snuff with no issues. Your brake fluid, which is in here, is showing at 0% humidity, so that is good as well. Your battery is seems pretty new. It's at under 13 and charging at 14.5. So again, all set. So under here, I have no complaints, no real issues. I also did a OBD diagnostic scan, and we have no codes present and no cleared codes or anything of that nature. So there you have it, 2016 Promaster 2500. As usual, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.